My name is Vivian Mann, and today we'll be featuring interviews with our AIESEC alumnus, Oscar Lopez, and our current member, Tiarra Keim. Following that will be a news update. Oscar Lopez joined AIESEC Edmonton in 1998, where he hosted interns from around the world at his home. Upon graduating from the U of A in 2002 with a Bachelor of Commerce degree in Distribution Management and International Marketing, he applied to go on exchange through AIESEC. He was selected to go on an internship in Santa Maria, a small town in Brazil. His experience with his internship helped him reach his career today. His internship manager is now his business partner at his newly opened restaurant, Pampa Brazilian Steakhouse on 109th Avenue. It seems that AIESEC experience has been a breakthrough for him, as he hopes to eventually hire interns through AIESEC at Pampa. Now here's Amy Gagnon with the interview.
I guess a great way to start with this is simply by asking, how were you involved with AIESEC?
So after being a part of AIESEC from 98 on and off until 2002 when I graduated from business school, I applied to go on an outgoing exchange, and I was accepted by a company in the south of Brazil, in a city called Santa Maria.
So you actually got to volunteer while you were in Edmonton, and then you also went on an exchange through AIESEC as well?
I just so happened that I was chosen to this tiny little town, literally in the very deep south of Brazil, a beautiful town called Santa Maria. And I had never heard of it before. I didn't really know much about Brazil, and I didn't really have any expectations. I was just going with an open heart and an open arm. And I had no family there, no friends, no connections whatsoever. Basically, I got on a plane and landed the next day, and that's where the adventure started. That's been by far the most life-changing experience for myself because, of course, the business that I now own started with this exchange in 2002. The industry that I'm in now had nothing to do with the exchange that I was part of, but just the whole culture experience, the whole experience of being part of this whole business. And my former boss, is one of my business partners, with the idea of exporting the service, in this case, the concept of being Brazilian Steakhouse to Edmonton. And everything just sort of matched because, Alberta raises, world-class people, and Southern Brazil also raises world-class people. It was just a natural match that sort of just popped into my mind one day when we were going for lunch and saying, this could be a very, very fun business.
For the celebrity chef David Adji episode, how did it start?
Well, the actual show itself was already filmed here. What happens is what they do is they come twice. They come for 4 days, about a month before you're to open, and then they leave and then they come back and they spend about a week with you, right up until the actual opening of the restaurant. And the whole idea of the show is for him, with all of his experience, is to guide you through that opening phase, the difficulties and challenges, trials and tribulations. So it was a fantastic experience.
But if you did have a piece of advice that you would like to give to someone considering going on exchange, what would it be?
Is to be completely open to whatever may happen. I think the best exchanges are the ones where you don't have any expectations. It's where you always, of course, do your best, but you intake everything as it comes. And every day of your exchange, you live it as if it's the last day of your exchange. So whether you're for 2 months, or a year, or a year and a half, because of the fact that you most likely have never been to this country, or in this area, or learned this language, there's always something new for you to learn. Always all the invitations, all the AIESEC conferences, all the trips, all the public speaking engagements that you invite you to. Because that's what I do. And it got me really, really involved, not just within AIESEC, but we actually, the whole city sort of knew that I was there from Edmonton, and I had a chance to go on public speaking engagements and talk about Edmonton, talk about Canada, what makes Canada what it is, and what makes Canadians what they are.
For now, it's time to say goodbye, and maybe we'll see you at Pampa.
Thanks, Oscar. Look for Oscar on the Food Network show, The Opener, hosted by David Adji. The opening of Pampa will be featured on the show, and it will be aired in the summer. So, on to our next interview. Tiarra Keim is a current student at the U of A, majoring in political sciences and a member of AIESEC. Her first leadership role was in 2009 as VP of Outgoing Exchange, where she helped 15 students go abroad through AIESEC. After her BP term, she took on the role as the organizing committee president for one of AIESEC Canada's national conferences, National Congress. There, she helped raise over $20,000 in sponsorship, assisted with logistics, and met over 250 students from across Canada, and also helped celebrate AIESEC Edmonton's 40th anniversary. Now she plans on going on exchange herself, where she would like to help an NGO with either promotion or fundraising.
You mentioned that you started off with exchange. What really triggered you to do that? Are you interested in going on exchange?
Yes, actually. Basically, when I first heard about AIESEC, I learned that it was an exchange organization, and the first thing that I wanted to do was go on exchange during the summer a few years ago. But then I started getting more involved in the actual processes here locally, so I decided to take on more responsibilities and stay instead of going abroad. But now that I'm finished with those roles, I'm very excited to go on exchange, and now that I know a lot more people have gone on exchange. So right now I am an exchange participant and, well, looking for current internships.
Do you feel that there's been any correlation between your time in AIESEC and your political sciences degree?
Well, it's actually been quite complementary because for political science we study a lot about international relations and government relations, and in that way it's a lot different from AIESEC. But because AIESEC is internationally focused and I learned a lot of business skills through AIESEC, it's kind of complemented it in that my interest in political science is international, and now I can go abroad and work in international corporations and non-governmental organizations. So in the interest factor, definitely, and it's complemented in that I have gained 2 different skill sets through school and AIESEC, and it's definitely made my university experience a lot more interesting and more useful.
I know this wasn't part of your role at all, but did you end up doing any of the marketing calls within Edmonton here in AIESEC?
Well, at first, when I joined AIESEC, I was really, as I said, I was a little bit shy, I was a little bit nervous, I didn't want to go on marketing calls, but because I was helping run the conference, we did have to raise a lot of sponsorship. And so being in charge of that, I was definitely responsible for part of that. And so I did go on marketing calls, and it was actually a lot of fun. It wasn't as scary as I expected. The corporate community in Edmonton especially, and alumni, are fantastic. They're really easy to talk to, and if you know they're not able to give you the money or whatever you're asking for, they definitely have a lot of ideas and contacts.
Say your viewers as to why you would want to go to one of these conferences?
Yes, definitely. First of all, the reason that I decided to become a vice president in the first place is because I went to a regional conference, and I wasn't really sure about AIESEC before that, and once I went to that I met a lot of very like-minded people that were interested in the same things, and it was a really comfortable environment to learn new skills and practice new ways of doing things, because I'm kind of a shy person, I would say.
Oh, it doesn't seem that way.
Thank you. But yeah, so definitely I've had that aspect of just attending conferences, meeting a lot of people, and gaining skills. And then from the planning side, it was really great to have so many people come to the conference and come together and share ideas. And it was really nice to be a part of kind of planning that, because I really felt like I was making a big difference in helping making that possible. So I highly recommend going to conferences if you can, whether you're thinking of going on exchange or taking on a leadership role, or just curious about different ways you can get involved in AIESEC. It's a great experience and definitely worth the time.
Thanks, Tiarra. And so now it's time for a news update. We've elected our new executive board for 2011 and 2012 term. They are Andrea Urbina, our local committee president, Andrew Rogan, vice president for finance, Colin Wog, vice president for outgoing exchange, Sam Turner for vice president of income and exchange, Jessica Steingard, vice president for corporate and alumni relations, Karis Oswald, vice president for campus communications, James Deloja, vice president of external communications, and Nicole Bisson, vice president of talent management. And so, AIESEC welcomed its first intern of 2011 in January. The intern is Lana Markovic, and she is working at Parkland County for former AIESECer Tom Kemp. The executive board released the 2010 annual report. Highlights from the report include 5 internships realized in 2010 and an 18% growth in exchange participants for 2009. So for more information about AIESEC and how you can become a member or go on an internship, please visit www.iesec.ca/Edmonton. You can also follow us on Facebook or on Twitter.